As everyone should know by now, Russia has launched a military attack on Ukraine. Russia is in the process of invading Ukraine. This is obviously very bad. It is the move of a deranged imperialist dictator. It will lead to nothing but massive suffering. The invasion is very bad. Putin and his government are in the wrong here. They are the problem. They are the aggressors. America is not to blame here. Ukraine is absolutely not to blame. They are the victim. They are fighting in self-defense. They are fighting on the just side of this war. Some people claim Russia was provoked into such a move because there were a few Nazis in Ukraine and because NATO. The people who say this are victim-blaming morons and bootlickers. If they had one iota of consistency, they would quickly find that this logic leads to them endorsing every American war and intervention. If Ukraine provoked Russia, then no American intervention has ever been unprovoked. If that level of provocation justifies a war, then America has never fought an unjust war. But for some, licking the boot of an imperialist aggressor is more appealing than consistency. Some people, you understand, are less interested in hating imperialism and more interested in hating America. This is why they always hate America, but only hate imperialism insofar as it relates to America. Hating America is all that matters to these morally bankrupt morons. They will lick any boot if it makes them feel they are anti-American. As well as these fools, we have the people who incessantly downplayed and denied the probability of this attack. Each and every one of these people should apologize for their idiotic certainty in a belief which no rational person could ever be certain in. If they do not apologize, they should lose all credibility and respectability. This most unfortunate event has revealed a very large and significant divide in the political left. It has very clearly differentiated the real leftists and the mindless idiots who masquerade as leftists. The people who actually care about leftist ideals, and the people who do not. We should make sure we remember what these people revealed about who they really are, and what they really believe. The leftists who defend Russia are red fascist scum. They are authoritarian bootlicking filth, which should be completely excised from the left. They are a cancer upon the political left. Having said that, some people are pretending the whole left is Russian stooges or whatever. This is also very stupid. The Russian stooges aren't even proper leftists, and labeling the whole left pro-Russia with no nuance is reductive, stupid, inaccurate, and incorrect. I know that some people will do anything for a cheap dunk on the lefties, but this is no excuse to be an idiot. Something I also despise is people getting angry at Russians. The problem is the Russian government, not Russians. Engaging in a centralization and blaming a massive group of people for the immorality of a few is idiotic, immoral, and very dangerous. The problem is not Russians. The problem is the Russian government. The distinction matters. Brave Russians are protesting the invasion, knowing that doing so could have serious consequences. These people are worthy of great admiration. They protest in the face of great oppression. The problem is not Russians. It is Putin and his government. Some people are calling for American intervention into Ukraine. Some people want to deploy US troops directly against Russia. Some people want nuclear powers to fight a war over this. No, that is not a good idea. I have no issue with America providing the Ukrainian armed forces with weapons and training, but direct combat is a horrible idea. It risks an apocalypse and an inconceivable amount of suffering. In fact, it isn't just a risk. It is a very high probability. Some people think that Putin knows better than to use nukes, and will keep things conventional. Firstly, even if World War III was conventional, it would still entail an enormous amount of suffering. Secondly, what kind of an idiot believes Putin has the restraint and moral fiber to not deploy nukes? Russia would likely lose a conventional war, and Putin would presumably find himself on trial. I think it is unwise to think that in the face of such things, Putin would not employ every weapon at his disposal. War between America and Russia guarantees an amount of suffering which makes the current situation look like child's play. It also carries with it a very good chance of an apocalyptic nuclear exchange. Some say they want intervention because they care about Ukraine. So, you care about Ukraine? Take just a moment to consider what happens to the country that becomes ground zero in the biggest war in history. The violence we are seeing now is nothing compared to what is possible, compared to what would happen if America went to war. American intervention is not a viable option. All America can really do is sanctions, as well as providing training and weapons. This situation is very bad, but that is no excuse to be trigger-happy idiots who only make it infinitely worse. It is easy to view far-off war as little more than entertainment. We all need to stifle this impulse and its corrosive influence. War is evil, more evil than those who have not experienced it could ever imagine. War is suffering, and if you were suffering, you would want others to care. My sympathy is with the people of Ukraine, the victims of this unjust and brutal Russian attack, this act of imperialism. The soldiers and other defenders of Ukraine who bravely face down a far more powerful military have my admiration, as do the Russian civilians who protest their government in the face of tyranny and oppression.